Let's do some pandas. First 50% of records from dataset. This question appeared in the interviews of Amazon and Bosch. In this simple question, they're asking, find the first 50% of records of the dataset. So before we even look at this problem here, let's look at the data frame that we have. So first thing first, import pandas as PD. And now let's explore this data frame here. Worker.head. It's going to give me 5 records. There you have them. So they're asking for first half or first 50% of records from the data set. So essentially, what I'll be doing here is I'll be adding one more column. Let's call it row number column. And in that row number column, I will label all these records or all these rows as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the reason I'm not relying on this worker ID column here is, which also has those kind of numbers, is because I don't know if it actually changes in future. Worker ID, this 3 becomes 99 or something like that. I don't know. I don't trust that. That's why I'm creating my own column for my calculation purposes. Once I have all the rows numbered, then I can just do a simple logic that, hey, what's the max rows I have in this data set? Let's say that we have 12 rows in this data set. Let's divide that by 2 will give us 6. So give me all the rows till 6. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If not, don't worry. Let's begin. So as I mentioned, first thing first, let's add a column. So we are adding a column. Add a column row number. Okay, so let's save that in this worker data frame. So worker, let's call that row number. How do you add a row number column in pandas? So we'll be using window function here, obviously. In SQL, we have window function. In PySpark, we have window function. In pandas also, we have window function. So I'll be using worker or worker ID as my foundation, and I'll be using .rank method of our pandas, and inside rank we have an argument called method. This will be of type first, because in pandas how you work with row numbers is you have to specify a method equals first. So first meaning it will start at number 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay, so I selected my column, then column.rank. Inside rank method, I have this argument method equals first. So this will give me that column here, which is called row number in my worker data frame. And you can also explore that real quick here. So worker.head, this will give me that. This will show me that I have that new column here now. So on the right, I have this column here, which is what I wanted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now let's do our logic. So essentially what I'm going to be doing here is, let's do worker row number. So let's select that column. Less than equals, just bear with me, I'll explain what's going on here. Let's include our brackets here. Length of, what's the length of this column here, worker row number? So let's say if the data set was 12, that means worker row number will be this whole thing will be then 12, right? Because length just gives you the actual length of that specific column here in pandas. So worker row number is made up of 12 records, so this length will give us 12. Okay, so I want first half of the records, first 50% of records, right? So let's divide this by 2. That will give me, if this length was an example, let's say this length was 12, dividing that by 2 will give me 6, right? So then worker row number less than equals 6. So that means all the rows like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 will be included in that output. Okay, let's supply our data frame here, and let's save this into our worker data frame, and let's do worker.head, and let's see what we get. And there you have it. And you know what, let's just remove this head here. I just want to see what I actually get. So I have six records here. Okay, that means our full data set, 100% of our data set was comprised of 12 records, and right now we have 50% of our records. And I think we are very close to our answer. We're very close to our solution, because we already have 6 records here, which is 50% of our data set. The only reason it might not pass as the solution is because I've added this row number column. So we will have to drop this helper column. So let's do that. Otherwise it's not going to work, right? We can try it. Obviously it's not going to work because in their official solution, they don't have that column, that helper column, but we do, right? As you can see here. So let's remove that. Let's drop that. So worker equals worker.drop. That's how you do a data frame.drop. And what's the name of that column? It's a row number. And we have to supply access here. Access equals 1. Access equals 0 means you're dealing with the row. But access equals 1, that means you're dealing with our column here, which is row number. So we have to specify that access equals 1 here. Okay. And let's see what we get. Let's run this. And again, now we don't have that column anymore. Let's see. There you have it. That's the right answer. So again, we used sort of like window function that we use in SQL in our pandas using .rank method. And inside that, we have to supply method equals first, because that's the way how you number rows in pandas. And we use this logic here. Worker, this is the main logic here, this guy here. Okay. That length of worker row number column is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Then give me all the records up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, in the end, we dropped that helper column. And there you have it.